Hello English learners, and in this video we are going to learn some different, unique, advanced idioms and expressions related to cars and car travel. Maybe some idioms and expressions you aren't too familiar with, but ones that us native speakers use quite often. So if this is something that you are interested in, keep watching. Our first expression is to put pedal to the metal. Pedal to the metal.
To drive pedal to the metal means to drive very, very fast, right? Imagine driving so fast that you are pushing the pedal all the way down to the ground. That's kind of where this phrase comes from, pedal to the metal. Let's say Sue is driving to work and her job is 40 minutes away. Problem is, work starts in 30 minutes. We could say that Sue needs to drive pedal to the metal.
Next, we have to step on the gas, or simply step on it. What does this mean?
The next phrase we have is step on the gas, or simply step on it. And these phrases mean to go faster. So perhaps you're riding in a car with your grandmother or your grandfather, and you are on your way to a doctor's appointment, but your grandmother or grandfather always follows the rules of the road and drives 5 miles under the speed limit at all times. But you've got to get to that doctor's appointment. So you tell your grandparent, "Step on the gas, will ya?"
You might be familiar with this one already. It is to give someone a ride. Give someone a ride.
And to give someone a ride means to transport someone in a car. For example, it's Thanksgiving, and your aunt and cousins are arriving at the airport at 2 a.m. They are from another town, so they didn't bring their car. They ask you, "Hey, can you give us a ride to our hotel?" Hopefully you are nice, and you say, "Sure, I can give you a ride."
Next up, we have a backseat driver. Backseat driver.
And a backseat driver is a passenger in a car who tells the driver how to drive or gives unwanted advice. Now, everyone has come across a backseat driver in their lifetime. And if you haven't, you probably are that backseat driver. The backseat driver is the person who is sitting in the back or the front passenger seat saying, "Slow down. You didn't use your turn signal. You're way too close to the car in front of us." Commenting on your driving and telling you things you don't really want to hear. That is a backseat driver.
Maybe you've been told this before, to pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
And now we have the phrase pump the brakes. Pump the brakes simply means to slow down. It can also be used in other contexts to mean calm down or relax. Let's say you're in the car driving and someone tells you to pump the brakes. You are probably driving too fast and scaring them. Be more mindful. This is one of those car-related phrases that can be used in other contexts. For instance, you are talking to your friend, let's call him Ricky. Ricky is very extroverted and loves to be out. He likes to go to restaurants, bars, movie theaters, parks. But Ricky gets sick. He ate too much tilapia at the fish fry. Instead of staying home and recovering, Ricky decided he will continue to go out to bars and parks and restaurants and all the aforementioned. And you tell Ricky, "Hey, you're sick. Pump the brakes."
Next up, rev and engine. Rev and engine.
And to rev the engines means to cause an engine to run quicker. Rev is short for revolutions. So when you rev an engine, you cause the engine to make more revolutions per minute. And it's sometimes accompanied by that vroom, vroom, vroom sound. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Now we have joyride. Joyride.
A joyride is when someone rides or drives in a car for enjoyment, but they are usually driving too fast or dangerously in a stolen car. For example, I could say my 15-year-old brother went on a joyride in his history teacher's car. Unfortunately, it landed him in juvenile hall.
Here's a fun one. Speed demon. Speed demon.
A speed demon is someone who drives very fast. Not much more to this definition, but it can be used in other contexts. It could be someone who works very quickly.
Next, we have to hit the road. Hit the road.
To hit the road means to start a journey on the road. So say you and your family are going on a road trip. So you pack your bags, you grab some road snacks, bring a little pillow to sleep on, and once you've got all of those items in the car, you are ready to hit the road or start your journey.
Here we have rush hour. Rush hour.
Rush hour in my area is between 7 to 9 in the morning and 5 to 7 in the evening, Monday through Friday. Why? Because this is the time when most cars are on the road, when traffic is heaviest. It's when the rush hits. It doesn't have to be exactly 1 hour. It's just the point of days when traffic is heaviest. It's not a good idea to travel during rush hour unless you absolutely have to. Otherwise, you could be stuck in traffic for hours.
Next up, we have hoopty and jalopy. Hoopty and jalopy.
A hoopty or a jalopy is an old, damaged car or a car that's in poor condition. Sometimes parents give their teenager a jalopy or a hoopty because they want to see how well they take care of that car before they buy them a newer one. Or perhaps they'll just use the jalopy or the hoopty until they can buy the car themselves. Who knows?
Next, hitch a ride. Hitch a ride.
To hitch a ride basically means to stand by the side of the road, sometimes with your thumb out, and wait for someone to stop and take you to a destination. People who hitch rides are called hitchhikers.
I hope this one has never happened to you. It is to key a car. Key a car.
To key a car is to damage a car's paintwork by using a key. This is an intentional act. Why people do it, I don't know. Maybe they are angry at the person whose car they've keyed. Maybe you guys were fighting over a parking spot and you were the person who got in the parking spot and then they decided to key your car. Either way, it is not fun when it happens to you.
And now we have gas guzzler. Gas guzzler.
A gas guzzler is a vehicle like a car or a truck that uses a lot of fuel. Now, when I was a teenager, my dad and I had one car, and it was an H2 Hummer, and it was massive. But the one thing I hated about it was that it was a gas guzzler.
And lastly, we have fast lane. Fast lane.
The fast lane is a lane on the highway that is used for vehicles traveling faster than the rest. Now, you may have heard the phrase living life in the fast lane. This particular definition has nothing to do with lanes on the highway or cars, but it's used to describe a person who lives a very busy, exciting, or even stressful life. You could say that doctors or war photographers live life in the fast lane. They are often very busy and stressed, or even sometimes excited in their profession.
And that is the end of this video on different car idioms and expressions that you might not have been familiar with. I hope this video was useful. If it was, make sure to give me a like. Feel free to leave a comment or a question below the video. Subscribe if you like lessons like this, lessons on different advanced idioms and expressions. And until next time, English learners.